The election deniers playbook for 2024. Here's the thing: the Brennan Center for Justice isn't. It's a Bolshevik center. Okay, it's the Brennan Center is Justice William Brennan, and the entire thing from top to bottom is just pure Bolshevism. The attempts to undermine safe and secure elections are evolving. Anytime you hear safe and secure from a government office,
Yeah.
you know they're up to no good. You know they're up to fraud. You know they're out to screw you.
We're from the government. We're here to help.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Election denial poses an ongoing threat to U.S. democracy. Once again, we're a federal republic, or at least we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Despite its widespread rejection in the 2022 midterms, efforts to undermine the electoral systems have proliferated and expanded beyond Donald Trump's charge that the 2020 election was stolen. This analysis examines the role that election denial played during the midterms and makes an early assessment of how it will evolve in 2024. It does so by outlining 14 tactics deployed by election deniers through the 2022 election cycle. I want you to listen to these because what they're doing here is telegraphing.
Well, first of all, they're accusing one side of everything they're going to do.
That's correct.
You're calling it telegraphing.
Yes.
It's more like gaslighting.
Tomato. It's gaslighting the telegraph.
All right.
Tomato.
Let's do it.
Okay. 1. Election deniers bids for office. People who are deniers of the election are going to run for office. You're goddamn right. A whole bunch of people who think the election is BS are running for office.
They should.
Just about everywhere I know. And they're saying this like it's some sort of a crime, by the way. Election deniers' refusal to concede.
Listen,
that hasn't happened.
Well, no, hang on. First of all, I'm 100% behind the president and his refusal to concede.
Yeah.
Because the evidence that I was exposed to,
yes,
it was so blatant. I try to be
that I'm about to expose you to.
I try to be calm. I try to be logical. But what happened in 2020 and even in 2022 in this state, in my opinion, I think there was some funny business.
Yeah. Counties' refusal to certify election results. I've been talking to you about that. I pulled my own records from my own county, and I told you what I found.
Mm-hmm.
4, efforts to discredit voting machines.
Yeah. Well, first of all, they should be discredited.
5, efforts to tamper with sensitive voting data and equipment.
Huh. Well, let's see. If you got rid of the goddamn computer and you went with paper ballots, you wouldn't have that problem.
My data was tampered with. I have the actual proof.
Yeah.
Massive public records requests. It's election interference, ladies and gentlemen. If you get involved and try to look at your own voting data, this is probably directly due to the stuff that I'm involved with here in the state of Michigan. Massive public records requests. 7, efforts to recruit election deniers to serve as poll watchers and workers. I'm a poll watcher, motherfucker. Come at me. I have been a poll watcher since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I will go to the elections and I will stay there until 1 a.m. if that's what I have to do.
A small price to pay.
And it's part of your job, by the way. I see people laughing about getting out of jury duty and stuff like that. Oh, ha, 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 I got out of jury duty. Okay, guess what? If you ever needed jury, all of the people who probably would do a decent job for you went, ha, 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 I got out of jury duty. So guess what? Shanique was on your jury. Ha, ha, ha.
Uh-huh. I personally,
poll watching.
I want to see thousands of individuals at these centers where they count these ballots.
Yes.
So they can't do this horse shit like they did in 2020.
They are terrified of you showing up and doing this. I know. I've been a poll watcher and I've had them standing there going, well, I'll just stand there and do the army thing.
Yeah,
and they know not to go, they know not to come near you.
Yeah.
We really don't want that guy here, but he's scary looking. I don't want to go near him.
This is the typical airborne ranger standing there.
Yeah. And you just know that if you go over and bother him, you're about to have a shit ass day.
Yeah. I did that 33 years. That was my default stance.
Yeah. Yeah. And my wife has asked me why the arms are up high. It's because of our gear. You've got mags and pouches and everything else all down here.
You just get used to it.
You just automatically do.
You stick it under your armpits to hold them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
It's because of your gear. 8, threats against election officials and workers. I seem to recall the Democrats doing all of the threatening and all of the violence and everything.
I am not about threatening people.
We didn't do it. That's
No,
my point.
I'm just saying,
That's
though,
their thing.
I do not think people should be threatening individuals that are working in these things. I think that's a bridge too far at this particular time.
9, voter intimidation. Well, gosh, what were Black Panthers doing out in front of voting centers in Ohio during the elections?
Yeah.
With guns.
Oh, yeah. And guess what? If you get, 150 patriots at the voting centers,
Right.
a lot of that would go away.
10, mass challenges. How dare you, the people, challenge an election? How dare you?
It's right.
Okay, they're speaking of this like it's all criminal.
This is all criminal, bad
they will
stuff.
make this criminal as soon as they can. The state of Michigan is already trying to do this by criminalizing challenging an election more than 24 hours after it has already happened. 11, election police forces. I don't know what that is, but I imagine they're talking about 150 of us showing up loaded for bear and making sure that everything is neat and orderly and in its proper place.
Yeah. Now listen, I'm not actually requesting that to happen, but I would like to see it.
Yeah.
Because listen, the left runs everything right now because the right has ignored it for decades. It's about fucking time we wake up, the patriots of this country, because it is being stolen from us.
Yes.
One paper cut at a fucking time.
Yeah.
You better fucking open your goddamn eyes.
Yeah.
Shit.
Voter intimidation, mass challenges, election police forces. Number 12, anti-voter lawsuits. What's an anti-voter lawsuit? I don't know what that is. How do you
Well, I'm telling you
put
right
a
now.
lawsuit up that's against the voters?
Well, that would be like making you have to have a valid ID to vote. But,
There you go.
mean not allowing illegal aliens to vote?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
gosh,
think
that's mean,
you
isn't
should have. Well, all right. First of all,
What's that mean?
all right. In my opinion, the whole voting thing that we have now is broken. In my opinion, if you want to vote and have a say in this country, you have to be a net contributor to the country, meaning you are a positive contributor to the treasury, to everything else. If you're on Social Security, disability, and you never paid into it, guess what? You're a net negative. If you're on welfare, WIC, Section 8, you're a net negative.
Yeah, you shouldn't be available.
You shouldn't be allowed to vote.
You shouldn't be able to vote because all you do is vote yourself more Gibbs.
Yes.
Yep.
So again, the line of work that I'm in, I deal with a lot of inner city folk. And in order to even start their case, they must produce 2 forms of ID. One of them always is a Michigan State ID of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
I have never once had one of them have difficulty produce ID. The biggest argument that the left likes to throw, that the Bolsheviks like to throw out there is it's disenfranchising the poor urban folk when you say they have to produce ID to vote.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you that every single one of them that I deal with on a daily basis, and we've got, I think just my attorney has several hundred cases.
Well, a lot of them smoke menthols, and you got to have an ID to buy those.
And that's so weird. It's so weird that you have to have an ID to buy menthols.
To buy cigarettes. I'm just fucking around.
I know, but
yeah, you got to be 18 to buy cigarettes, 21 to buy alcohol.
I was buying cigarettes when I was like 11.
Yeah, I know. I used to buy cigarettes for my mother when I was like 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, my grandma would send me down to this corner to buy cigarettes for.
Yeah, but now, if you want beer, you better be 21 and be able to prove it. You want to buy a gun, you better be 21, have ID to prove it.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of shit. You need to have an ID.
You get in an accident, you want an attorney, have ID to prove it.
It's right. And now all of a sudden they're pulling out it is discriminatory to ask for valid identification of all. Shut up.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Number 13, anti-voter legislation. Let's make laws where people who are illegal can't vote.
Yeah, we should have. Listen,
have those laws, though.
We do.
We do have those laws. They're just not enforced. And of course, number 14, the catch-all, disinformation.
All right. Now, first of all, I can guarantee you there's going to be a bunch of people complaining about us putting out disinformation.
Yeah.
When we're reading the articles
from their
own rag
news
sites.
Yes. This is from a leftist news site.
Yes.
Clear. This is from a leftist. news site. We are coming close enough to the window that I'm going to pull the map out
Yes.
because
That's
we're
gonna
gonna
take
spend
time.
a moment on this map. So let me go over here, bypass these 65,000 tabs. Looks like 6
Now,
gorillas.
this one is, you're going to blow your fucking mind.
So I'm going to preface this real quick. You've got
Tell them how it was created and who created it.
okay, 2016, the elections, we all knew something was weird.
2020, you mean?
No, I don't.
Oh, 2016?
2016.
Okay.
This is when this group started talking.
Okay.
I knew some of these people already.
And what's the name of the group?
It didn't have a name yet.
Okay.
The cell that created this eventually would come into the group that we'll mention in a minute.
All right.
The 2016 elections, we saw all the weird stuff, and that's when we started going and looking into it together. And then 2019 rolls along, 2020, Trump's the candidate, and this group forms called Praetorian, and a Green Beret was behind it. I got pulled in as his chief of operational intelligence.
And then you pulled me in.
We pulled Pop in to work on the security deal. He was one of our ground guys. And I would run teams at these election events to provide security for everybody. I was Overwatch communications and reporting. And we started really analyzing a lot of what was going on. This is one tiny portion of what we discovered. I have enough material that we could easily do 7 or 8 shows.
Yeah.
Just on this material. But your electronic voting machines are connected to things. They want to say that they're not. They're connected to routers and switches, which means that they're connected to other computers, which means they're connected to data servers, which means they're connected to data centers.
And they're on the internet. So anyone,
yes,
technically anyone could fuck with
anybody with any skill could get into these. Now we have a lot of evidence that this happened, and some of that ended up in, what was it, Italy, Romania, Germany, and 1 or 2 other places.
Yeah, there was U.S. forces stacking up on a server farm in Germany. I don't know what happened.
We were never able to verify any of that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
We were never able to verify any of that.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.